All right, welcome to Film Nerds. I am James.
And I'm Theo.
a little late over there, are you?
Yeah, you was kind of loud on my earpiece. Turn my volume down.
We can do that. Is that better for you?
I'll work with it. It's cool.
All right. So once again, welcome back to Film Nerds. Today we have for you another movie review. This is Wednesday. Y'all probably see this Monday, but it's Wednesday the 22nd, and we're doing A Fall from Grace, the Todd Perry movie on Netflix. So I didn't have no cool intro for this.
Nah, that's cool, man. We playing it by ear, man. You don't have to be a cool intro. I mean, we already got them listening, so.
Do we?
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, we doing A Fall from Grace, Tyler Perry's new movie that was released by Netflix over the weekend, was it?
I don't know.
Last week, so it's fairly new.
I'm surprised that Netflix has so many new movies.
Surprised, Netflix got to do something to keep up with Disney Plus.
Well, I haven't been on Netflix. That is true. I haven't been on Netflix since I think that Rhino Williams movie and Dolomite was popped up. So I haven't been on since then. So that been a couple weeks. So I think that probably been December, early December then.
Yeah. Well, you can speak to your mic too. Yeah.
Yeah, so that should have been about early December.
But yeah, like Netflix do keep or at least they try to keep a constant supply of new content. They have to be, since a lot of things is getting pulled, and a lot of Disney Plus and a lot of other stations and stuff is starting to do their own services. So yeah, Netflix has to keep putting out new content, original content.
I'm amazed where TV gonna go in a couple of years.
All online. No need for cable.
I mean, because even everybody's paying for it. Like, oh yeah, 14 here, 14 here, 14 here. Like, you even got some people like, well, I got Prime, which is an automatic benefit because I use Amazon. Okay, Disney Plus came. Now I got Netflix. Okay, and I got Hulu. Okay, I gotta lose one.
So, jumping into the review. Fall from Grace is an American thriller produced, written, and directed by Tyler Perry, and this is actually his first film that's actually released by Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
So, of course, this is his first project that was released after him stating that he doesn't use a writing room. You didn't hear about that?
Mm-mm.
Well, a little while back, I think like last month or so, he stated that he doesn't use other writers when he writes his projects, like his shows and whatnot. He's the only one who writes, his projects.
So what about for like all these episodes?
He does all that.
So every episode we see, he writes everything.
Everything you see, every episode you see, that's by him, he writes it. He writes it.
He making sure he keeps all of them.
Yeah, it stirred up some controversy, which is something I want to do on a later date. I do want to talk about that, but not today. But the film stars Crystal Fox, Felicia Rashad, Brescia Webb, and Macabre Brooks. You may know of some of these people, especially everybody should know Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, you should. I get Netflix. Brenda Webb has been coming up too. I mean, if you've been on Netflix, she was in Marlon. She played kind of like the Tanisha Campbell, like Gina character on Martin in Marlon. So she did she did like one of those mock funny parody movies with oh man, I can't remember his name now, but the guy who played in Next Friday, the comedian.
Omar Epps.
Yeah, Omar
I
Epps.
mean, Mike Epps.
Yeah, Mike Epps. Yeah, she played alongside Mike Epps in that. But recently, you probably know her from Marlon. So that was a good TV show. You can catch her. That's kind of recent. And then the guy Mekong Brooks was in Nobody Fool and Tyler Perry. So and I think that's on Prime. So you can start seeing that too. And that's yeah, that's pretty recently too.
Well, well, the movie follows Jasmine, played by uh, Brescia, who is a public defender who always takes plea deals. Like that's what she's known for. She's known for taking a lot of plea deals, uh, which the movie actually tries to paint this as a negative trait. But being a public defender, this is actually is usually the case. You know, they are overworked, not really free, but they're paid by the state. But so they are actually overworked and underpaid. So of course, they tend to do stuff that will lessen the load for them.
Yeah, just on a side note, I didn't even think into it all like that until now you bring it up, and I'm like, isn't the problem that they have with public defenders is that all they do is try to get the confession or try to get them to get the bare minimum without sending. Their whole goal is to get take as many cases as possible. And in this movie, they really turned that around.
And made it sound. I mean, it in theory is bad because you don't have your client's best interest.
That's correct. Yeah.
But
when they cannot afford one,
yeah,
and that's supposed to be one of our rights.
Yeah,
that you have somebody that's going to defend you, which means that
it's them that they the ones when you can't afford a lawyer. These are the people who come in and defend you,
and they should be doing it the same way as somebody getting paid.
They should, but as we said, they're overworked and underpaid. So
that's something to consider too. Like the state should probably put more money into that system. But I don't know. I think it's still one of those things that they want more people behind bars than actually being productive of society.
Yeah. So after meeting her client Grace, a middle-aged woman who's in jail for murdering her husband, she gets the feeling that her client may be innocent. And the feeling she gets is like she starts after signing the plea, she starts crying, and she feels like, well, guilty people really don't cry, But so her boss Roy, who's played by Tyler Perry, he insists on her to take the plea, which I'll get to this later. Which later on he has a different approach and point of view, but it's contradicting himself a little bit. But he just wants to get it done, get the plea, move on.
Well, it was a given. She already confessed, and yeah.
Yeah. So going against her boss, she decides to defend and take the book and convince Grace to go to court, and where she learns about the whole story of Grace's love life with this guy named Shannon, who she ends up marrying, and she gives a big story on how the love life went and how everything collapsed and went wrong. Then it's revealed that the man it reveals that Shannon is actually a con artist working with his mother, Sarah, which is Grace's best friend, and yeah. So in plot twist, Shannon is not really dead. His name is Maurice. And Sarah's real name is I forget right now. I have it written down somewhere, but I forget. Yeah, I've given
That's okay, man.
Yeah, like I've given her name.
We're critics. We're focusing on the plot.
Yeah, I should have had it.
Besides, the name is something at the end of it anyway. That the Barry and So
yeah. At the end of the movie, a lot of things happens. It's a lot of things happens, and but Grace ends up, getting let off, and she continues with her life. The plot is actually very, very complicated. But what are your thoughts on the plot of the movie?
the plot of the movie was actually pretty decent. I got the concept. You know, it's kind of like an underdog type movie. Also, she was motivated but not motivated. She played, pretty much I'll say the underdog who was really scared. Like the date that David and Goliath type thing. She was scared and she just happened to pick this big case and everything just rides on it. And then the story was kind of pretty good because it did bring you into it. I mean, of course, some of the acting, but we get that with Tyler Perry, can be not realistic, and yes, I did get caught up on the wigs, but the only wig issue that I had was with Shannon, because I've seen him in Nobody's Fool, and he has the bald head look, and we all know that you know right now it's popular with women like they either like the beards and if the bald head, so it would have worked with him not having that crazy hot. Because at first I thought it was a period type thing that they was doing, so it kind of threw me off. But then it's like, oh no, this is right now. He would have been a lot better with being clean shaved, but
but sticking with the plot though.
that did take me out of the plot, but everything else, it worked. So I enjoyed it. It got you into it.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. The movie was entertaining and captivating. Which usually in a Tyler Perry movie they are, because it's I call it it has a soap opera type drama.
Right.
All his movies are kind of like that. I feel like it's kind of in a bit of a soap opera. And to me that's not a good thing. Like I like that. Like it's full of like because I I feel like Tyler Perry does know his audience,
Mm-hmm.
and it's usually all
It's geared to females. Yeah.
it gears towards females, and we all know the type of drama that captivates and entertains females. I mean, and some guys, some guys as well. I can't say it's all females, but those are a lot of guys who do
But his
enjoy.
audience, we know.
But it's really geared towards females,
Right.
and it just has that soap opera type drama. You have the abusive female, the hot throb guy. It's all about uh, the romance.
Right. That's what you mean.
You
Yeah.
know, and
He really gets into like the female fantasy and desire, but we do know he was raised around a lot of women, so he pretty much is just watching and listening to, and he's got the opportunity to show exactly what they asked for. Because literally the whole scene that even when she's describing how they made up, it's literally what you would hear if you surrounded yourself with a lot of women. Because that's one of my issues, that it would be that he was a perfect gentleman. He didn't try to push on her. He took her out to dates. He called her, texted her, leave stuff. You know what I'm saying? He walks her, and he don't ask to get into bed. He just asks to visit her house. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of pretty much warms her up. Then he takes her and shows her different stuff. And it's like I said, you hear a lot of females really saying that that's what they would like. A guy walking every single day, giving them texts. Well, it is kind of nice talking to a girl till the sun go up until you fall asleep. I ain't gonna lie, that's that. Guys like that too. If you can get a girl that got good conversation, so
yeah. Like everybody enjoys talking to that one person who they really like. Like I think we all have been there. But like for me, like even though yes the story in the beginning, uh, it works, but like once it reaches the third act, I feel like a lot of things, like I feel like he tries to
Which was the third act.
the third act toward the end of the movie,
Okay.
uh, he tries to be too ambitious, and once again, he throws the plot twist and really doing. Matter of fact, yeah, like it's still a soap opera. And in soap operas you have this dramatic reveal and twist, like, oh, so and so's not dead, so and so did this. Oh no, it was so and so, and this pretty much what happens in the movie. Because the whole movie plays like a drama, like a little romantic drama, uh, with a little bit of courtroom drama as well. But at the end of the movie, it turns into a thriller.
Yes.
And it comes up way out left field. And to me, it didn't felt earned really, and like, because at the end of the movie, Jasmine goes to Sarah's house after learning that Grace is gonna be, well, is found guilty, and she discovers that Sarah is holding females, well, older women, hostage in her basement, tied up. And by that time it's too late, and she finds out that Shannon is not dead, and he locks her out and ties her up in the basement. And now the whole thing plays out as if uh, well, with her husband trying to save her and whatnot, and like it just felt out of place.
I do. I kind of see where you're coming from because I kind of felt like it was kind of rushed because all of a sudden the husband finds
Out of the blue.
out of the blue that, oh man, guess what? Go check your computer, and then he sees all this stuff that she's a comment, and then it was like you don't see. He knew where she was going. He didn't call, but I was looking for, like, one of the things that I felt that it was missing is how, I want to say, like, Sixth Sense. Well, since Sixth Sense is popular, is when they, I can't remember what they call it, is when they go back and they show you what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like, in the way that he was pushing this movie into like a courtroom drama type thriller, what we missed was what happened from the best friend's point of view. So when she went home and she got the call, what happened when she went to the house? You know what I'm saying? Because we never got the story. Like, the son went to the house, but we don't know what the son seen. We don't know how he got pulled out, and it would have been okay. That would be perfect. So when they found out when she went down there in the basement, most movies show, if they showing that somebody was dead and disappearing, they show how they made it. So he could have did a flashback where it shows that the mother pulled it out. Then it could have been revealed to us at the same time instead of she going in the basement and she sees all these bodies, and then he comes.
See, actually, dealing with going back to what you said about the son, when she goes back to the house. Well, she goes to the house and see the son. That is what she told Grace.
Right.
We never really found out what really happened.
Right.
So it shows us Grace goes in the house and she's seeing her son. Sarah goes to the house and sees Sarah's. Mm-hmm. Sarah goes to the house and see Grace's son leaving the house,
right,
whatnot, and she goes in and doesn't find a body. It doesn't really show us what really happened,
right, and that's what I'm saying. Because then we do get an idea that something happened with the phone call, because the phone call doesn't match up. That when he says, "Oh, we know that you called, we know what you said, but we also know that you went to the house, and then you immediately called back." You see what I'm saying? So it's just. It would have been nice before they did that, because most movies do that. Is where all of a sudden, like the boy kind of did it. It's like when she finds out, she thinks it's a doll, but it's a real human dude, and they kind of show him moving the doll behind closed doors, and he just busts out. Like, it's just one of those things that it brings everything to a close. Mm-hmm.
I really feel like he could have went a different route.
Right.
like with instead of using the whole Patras, I feel like he
Or
tried.
the ladies in the basement.
Yeah, because like I I may be wrong, but I don't like recall uh him like there's never mention of. I mean, yes, like you find out that she helps older women, but it's never hinted at the fact that one she's uh Shannon's mother, that two she is doing anything fishy. It just felt like, oh, let's make her a villain.
They tried, because even that little comment I made about if they'd have went back, they actually did it when she thought and she tried to put two and two together when they were arguing. But that whole like I had lost the hint where when she because they used that, oh, she is my friend, and then we never see her touch him when she walked past. We see that in the revelation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And thing you referring to is uh when Grace is found guilty, Sarah is wearing Shannon's necklace.
Yes.
Which to me felt kind of weird and odd.
Well, I thought not to cut you. I'm thinking that maybe no, go ahead. Because I was gonna say I thought maybe it was a different kind because
It could have been.
Because my thing was that he could have had two because we don't know where he got it from. But then at first I thought like maybe she killed him and she took it. But once again, it didn't make sense why you would wear something from that person because then we never knew what her issue was when she hooked him up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because so at first I thought, wait, say, was she actually Shannon's lover too?
Right.
Because like it's the same necklace or it could be the same half. Like, but the fact that she wore it to court, and you think Grace would put two together,
Well, she kind of did.
I mean, she probably thought it, but by that time it'd probably be too late.
Well,
to think about it.
technically, I would give her the benefit of doubt in that scene because my thing is that because of the stress level, she probably was just so focused, more getting her mind prepared of the worst case scenario that she didn't even pay attention. But because the worst case scenario is actually happening, she's able to pay attention to it because she's now talking. And of course, we all got that extra sense that like, wait a minute, something ain't right. And she was able to pick it up because you got to remember, in the court, she probably was so busy talking to the lawyer and keeping and looking forward and looking at the jury that she didn't pay attention to the people in the back. But when she had the opportunity to talk to her son, everything was that tunnel vision, and that necklace was right in tunnel vision because she was looking at her son. So I would probably give her a little credit for that.
No, I mean, from several point of view, like why would you wear something? Like to me that didn't make sense.
That's movie.
Like like it was plot convenience. But
I think it was cheap out, cop out.
Yeah. So she sees it and she gets these flashbacks on things Sarah used to do and say, and she connected the dots that all this time, you had a connection to Shannon, but it didn't. Of course, she don't know like how connected it is because like it kind of plays out as if she was also sleeping with Shannon. That's the feel I got. But then all of a sudden you feel
the flashbacks wasn't strong enough for me, to be honest. I mean, of course, when he shows the photography and she puts that, he could have had it because she knows he never sat down. But then she realized that when he was taking pictures of her, he was taking pictures of her computer screen also because she just was working on the computer while he was downstairs, and he comes up and surprises her. So,
but like the funny thing about that, even that
didn't make sense.
in the original shot, see the laptop.
That's right.
So
now that I think about it, there was nothing on there because they actually had to zoom out the camera to angle it and input in there.
Yeah, so,
and then too, she wasn't the type to be working.
She probably
she probably could have. She got, but somebody for her.
Yeah, but the shot that would have made more sense is when he goes to her job and took a picture of her. That made more sense. Yes, that then we saw the computer, and actually that actually is the conclusion that I got before it's revealed that he was the one who was conning who had took out the mortgage and forged a signature. I actually picked up on that. Like oh, he must have took a picture of the computer, but in the flashback when he took a picture of her in bed, you don't see no laptop, on the dresser,
Right.
So and like I hate when movies do that. They reveal something that was there that wasn't really there when you first see it.
Especially if it was in frame.
Yeah, I can see like I feel like they could have. This is more of a director's choice, but I feel like he could have did something where it's you can see it, but it's not noticeable. I feel like that would be more earned.
Or like you said, even within, she could have been in the bed, and we always seen scenes of he trying to get her attention. Come here, girl. Let me take a picture. You Victoria's Secret. Stop working. And she could easily close the laptop down, and it still would have been the same thing. Because they're like, come on, Victoria's Secret, stop working. You about to be my model right now. Yeah, but I kind of get what you're saying. But I don't think many people have seen that. But it would have been nice if they went and made those hints a little bit more compared to most thrillers.
Yeah.
Because it's something that the audience missed. And it was like, oh, because like I said, I never seen her touch him. You really don't see the mother and son interaction at all. You don't, except in that scene.
And honestly, like, that doesn't even make sense either.
No, which is like, her friend. That makes sense.
Well, because, okay, of course, Sarah is Shannon's mother.
Mm-hmm.
But when Grace does the flashback and she noticed that Sarah touches Shannon's hand, it's done more in a way of that, like, sugar lovers type of thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So, like, why would you do that? I mean, that's your son, Right. So,
yeah, I see what you're saying because it was like a little linger touch.
Yeah, like now it feels awkward.
I agree. I thought I did think it was because he was dating older women. I did think that maybe he was in a relationship with her at one point. Yeah, or he was messing with both of them. Yeah, it was yeah.
Like, and that has to go back to the point of him trying to throw like that the whole soap opera drama and twist. Like, oh, they're single lovers too. Nope, actually the mother and son. And like, I feel like he was trying to do way too much with the plot. And it don't make no sense whatsoever. What mother would do that? Unless you're the type of mother and son who's going around, making love and whatnot. I mean, that's like, to me, it made no sense. Like, was it like that's why I feel like one of the reasons why I feel like it's just soap opera drama.
But my thing is that even in that part, you don't even see. The camera doesn't even show her walking. It's show her walking around because the way they did it, they angle her sitting down. They angle to try to get both of them in frame. So I didn't even remember seeing her walk past them.
Yeah, well, she does. Like, because he's standing by the door. Like, she walks by him, but she walks on his right side.
Right.
So on camera, she kind of walks out of frame a little bit.
Right.
But you see her walk by him and out the door.
But I'm saying that scene that they show, they didn't show it to us.
Oh, no.
Where it would have helped because we could have been like, oh man, I didn't see her touch his hand. I didn't even pay attention to it because they made that the emphasis. Like for instance, if when they do flashbacks like that, it's normally something that we see
on screen. Yeah,
that we didn't miss. Like if she was talking to the dude and the stalker guy, the killer was the person that handed her the drink at this elaborate, party or something.
Yeah, like which is why I felt like it was something that was probably added at the end, or he like, well, I'm gonna do this reveal, but I'm gonna reveal it, like this, or I don't like just the way it's just the way he decided to reveal that plot
by itself, then.
it shows. You know, if we had another writer, maybe this was like, wait, maybe we should write another twist.
Well,
like,
just fresh eyes, like hey, I noticed this. Hey, hey, how about this idea?
Yeah, and also in like I like I hate I just like the fact that the whole most of the second act is told in flashback.
Mm-hmm.
The whole second act is pretty much Grace telling the story of her love life and the fall of her love. And I feel like there could have been a better way of telling that story without just doing all flashbacks and narration.
Well, I thought the flashbacks made sense because she was directly telling the story to the defender.
I mean, yeah, but see, well, comparing it to Just Mercy, which is pretty much almost similar. You have the lawyer and an inmate who's on trial for murder. Just Mercy was able to tell the guy's backstory without him sitting there and telling that story and narrating his story.
Oh, I see what you're saying with the narration. Just show it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're right, because we could have seen it. We could.
Yeah, like we could have saw. I feel like he could have done it in a different way where we could see what happened without them sitting there talking and her narrating everything to us.
I get it, because like the proposal scene,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been the perfect scene where you wouldn't know what was going on without her. Oh yeah, he took me to the very. She was a good enough actor that we could have seen the expression and knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when they came to it, I kind of got to the point. Because remember, I kind of knowing it, we knew that she murdered her husband, so we knew. Yeah, so I guess using that scene as an example, it would have been perfect for them just to, hey, and they just talk and walk,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just see what happened. She spins around, close your eyes, spin around. Oh, I'm going to fall, and then he does it without. Oh my God, he taking me to this beautiful place. Like we know she thinks it's beautiful when she opens up her eyes.
Yeah, because like pretty much in storytelling, you want to show your audience,
Right.
as you said, show your audience, don't tell. In this case, he kind of show and tell,
Mm-hmm.
and you really didn't need both.
I think somebody could say something about that. It's like with movies, you don't some stuff you don't need to tell.
Yeah,
because you can show it. Yeah.
Like if you're like it all goes back to writing and directing.
Mm-hmm.
If you can write and set up a scene, you need a lot of times you need words and do tell the audience what's going on. The audience can see and the way you choose your shots and choose different actions or not. You can sell and tell that story with those two do no words at all.
Right.
But even if you gonna use words, do it in a way where it's natural. And in a way that they'll tell a good story. And I feel like the way he did it in this movie, like it felt like okay. Well, to me, it just felt like okay. It just feel like you sitting in the room listening to someone tell a story about how they fell in love. I mean that's that's what it is, but just feel like it's.
That's what you're saying. Somebody watching your video of your wedding, you're like, oh, we're about to walk down the aisle. Oh man, the weather was so hot that day, and you can see her going like this.
Yeah, like it's one thing of hearing a person's thoughts versus you having them narrate every single thought and action.
Well, he wanted his character to give a DVD commentary.
Okay, so going to what's been since we kind of on writing. You have any thoughts on the writing, or let me go first?
You can go first.
All right. I I kind of hate to keep harping on Tyler Perry and his writing, but I think it's evident that he's not a genius when it comes to writing, you know. And in this movie, like I feel like some of the dialogue wasn't that good. It felt kind of stale, offbeat, you know. Uh, to me, it felt like something. Once again, it felt like something you would see in a soap opera. You know, that's what kind of dialogue that it felt to me. You know, it felt like it felt like an expensive soap opera. You know, and uh, I don't want to stay on this, but you know, I feel like I feel like he has good ideas sometimes. I just feel like he needs to outsource his writing. You know, like or at least have a co-writer. You know, but because the way he tells some of the story, as we were saying before, uh, he he could he really could do other things to tell this particular story and to make it much better. You know, like going back to taking just Mercy for example. You know,
I want to cut you off for a minute.
uh,
I just had to double check. But you know he's a Virgo, right?
oh yes,
September 13th, yeah.
well he's a September Virgo, so
Yeah, he's September Virgo. But he might have traits of the August Virgos. That stubbornness and it's got to be mine. Well, no, he got the Beyonce. Well, Beyonce is in September.
well.
But no, I get you.
I mean, as a writer, I understand, you know, but it's clear that he's not a writer first. You know, like with me, like
Why do you say that? Because I mean, that's how you started off.
he started off writing. He started off making plays and stuff. You know,
Yeah. Well, writing that, or you talking about writing as in film or writing? So
Right,
you think
writing
there's a
in general.
difference?
I don't think there's a difference between writing like plays and writing film. I mean, it may be a slight difference, but writing is still writing. You know,
Right.
I feel like he didn't start off writing. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know where he first started. You know, where was his main focus at?
Okay.
But I don't think writing was his main focus. You know, and the way he tells his stories, to me, it felt like I feel like he needs a little help in doing that. And because some of the dialogue is some of the dialogue, the way he tells the story is put it simply, it's like it's kind of bad. But I get it, as a writer, I like to write my stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like that's just me. But I'm a writer first before anything.
Okay.
you know, like I took time out to work on the craft of writing, before I did anything else. But that's just me. Not comparing me to him. I'm like God knows I'm not on that level. But
Well, I mean, it's taking it off the topic. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna probably say how it is with rap. For most people who grew up in the '90s, we looked at rap as being like lyrical poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Where now you have the trap artists who literally anybody do not have to rhyme. All you have to do is say something nice.
Or stay on beat.
Yeah, well, they don't even have to stay on beat to be honest, because if they do, they can just grunt. Doom, doom, yeah. I mean, come on, look like Panda. It really no rhymes, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Barely one or two rhymes, but compared to where if you go back in the '90s, even the R&B singers were, making rhymes. So my thing was with the script and kind of like what you're saying, it still goes with Tyler Perry knows who is his audience. And I know before we said this, we was talking about how like some people are getting upset saying the same thing. And then that's why I said it depends on if the people mature. Because, for instance, trap music, people are going to mature to something different. So even like R&B,
Hopefully.
yeah, like for instance, like R&B, like we seen people that say, I've seen people talk about R. Kelly. Some people say R. Kelly's still singing about the same stuff. Or let's say Usher. We seen Usher goes from a playboy to getting heartbroken, dating, going into marriage, breaking up, life struggles, So sometimes, depending on the audience, if they're willing to move on, then they'll probably move on. So it's something that right now he's probably okay, safe because it works.
Yeah. For now, it's working. Like
It's working.
because he plays real hard to his audience.
But those audiences also growing up, and they may want something different. But it's kind of hard to say too either because he's actually selling his product to the people that want it. So if that's what they want, then that's what they want. And until they start watching his stuff, that's when he'll realize that something needs to be done, and maybe he might be willing to be open and be like, okay, well, I know there's a lot of my sales is going down. I know I'm losing viewerships. I might want to bring somebody else on.
Yeah. Like, the one thing that really made me kind of cringe is the scene where Jasmine and her husband is having dinner, and they have that, and they all of a sudden they break into a fight, and it just felt unnatural.
Yes.
And the whole time, like, what? And even in acting aside, even though her husband acting was real awful, I don't know his name. You may have it. Like, it was awful. He's trying to be passionate, but his body language, his face, his voice doesn't give you that sense of passion. It was cringeworthy, and like the whole fight just felt stupid. You're like, oh, you got it.
No, I'm sorry.
I thought you were looking up.
Yeah. I had it memorized. I forgot because he was in the House of Pain spinoff. But even in that movie, all he did was just look mean the whole time. Like, even when he wanted to apologize, it was like, are you trying to apologize or are you just talking? So yeah.
Yeah, like that particular fight, like.
Well, just to cut you, going back to the dinner, I was thrown off about the dinner, but watching some movies, and I know it's probably hard for you because you fall back, but some stuff I turn off. But I was sitting there like, I don't get it. Like, I get she might be frustrated, but the whole time he's been trying to be supportive and build up her ego. You know what I'm saying? And then it was just like, you're not my father, and it was just like, she's very submissive against Tyler Perry character. Where he is kind of like, he could be seen as like a father figure type thing. So I was a little thrown off with that because they didn't really use it. That was a good point for her. They kind of did it earlier but they kind of made the husband bad when he was like, yeah, he's right. And they kind of tried, but I didn't think he really, used that moment.
Yeah, because like what happened is the scene before is her boss in the courtroom jumps down on her for missing some key evidence.
Oh yeah, the telephone records.
Yeah, which
she has it, but she
overlooked them.
Overlooked them.
Yeah, like, and so he really jumps down on her, and her husband, who's in the room too, doesn't really say anything, whatnot. So later on, she brings it back up, and kind of felt like he should have stepped in, but ideally, like, that's your boss, That, I mean, yes, like, his tone may have been off-putting, but like, that's your boss. It was like he wasn't being rude or downgrading. It was like he was downgrading you. Now he was I forget the word I'm looking for. Not berating, but
talking about the husband.
Not the boss. He was kind of chastising her and whatnot. But just nothing really wrong with it. Bosses does it all the time, And
well, he was giving, like you said, chastising and honest criticism because he's literally watching her fall because she had the paperwork And technically, if you're gonna defend somebody, he really just been honest and just been blunt. Like, look, you made two mistakes right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And this is, I think it was just like a reality check what he was doing because he knew she had everything that she needed. You know what I'm saying, for that moment. So
Yeah.
it was just a reality check. And like you said, a good boss or even a good friend is supposed to check you when you made a mistake because remember, this lady is about to go life. And when you don't take plea deals, they can do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you can come. She could have had 15 years to now life, or maybe even because where was they were in Virginia, right?
So in Virginia,
Yeah, they was in Virginia. I can't remember. I should know.
they only did
No,
say city.
no, it just the state. Do Virginia have a
The penny.
yeah?
I think we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. She could have went from 15 years with no parole to now life or life with the death penalty.
Yeah. So at the fight, she brings up and feel like he should have said something, and he throws it back like well, he was right. You know, like you need to you should have let your client well, the last words that the jury hears that your client is a murderer. Like he was. I get what the scene was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. It was supposed to be her Jasmine as main character. It was supposed to be her turning point of uh, realization of evaluating her life. What on things she wants to do, but I just felt like the whole scene was just poorly written. And it just felt out of place. Not out of place, but this felt unnatural.
Right.
And poorly acted. you know, and
because it was already too late for her to do anything. But I mean, with the ending, it did it worked with the ending, But
and also,
I just couldn't believe she went in here to beat up her boss, like, like you didn't defend me. Like I get Tyler Perry, he be catching good moments on. It's like that's not the time or place for a guy that uses protective instincts for it. You were not in danger.
yeah, I know it. Yeah.
And then you get mad if he did come in and punch your boss. Now I'm fired. Oh my god. This is my career you messing with.
And like also this movie had a whole lot of plot holes.
Oh, well. I know I talked about earlier about the one where I like the flashback of how, he got out and out of the basement and stuff like that.
Like one big plot hole is okay, how was the prosecutor able to charge Grace with murder to begin with?
Yeah, nobody. That's supposed to
Yeah,
be the
there's
thing.
nobody
or no weapon. Those.
Yeah, there's nobody. No, well, they actually had a weapon. Like,
No, but I'm saying in those cases, if
Yeah.
you don't have a weapon or a body, it's really hard to do it. Yeah. The whole concept was kind of thrown out.
like
Because I thought they had the body. That's what was throwing me off because we didn't know who the husband was. You see what I'm saying? So when I first seen the movie, I thought it was the ex. Like he did something to her and she went after him, but then I found out they didn't have a body. So it was like, okay.
Yeah, and like about Shannon is alive. That's why they don't have a body because like if he's alive, he can be dead. But it's the fact of how did one Rory, knowing as a lawyer, he should realize the details of the case. Realize okay, there's no body. Why am I telling her to go get a plea when I myself, being a good lawyer, well, ideally, thinking he's a good lawyer, know that this case is a winnable case when there's no body. And I feel like that should have been the grounds of defense. There's no body. There's no body. That's what she should have been
arguing. I don't
arguing.
think she. I can't. Maybe I lost it, but how did they know he was dead? Like, she never went in and confessed or anything? Because then my thing is this also is the fact that if you're gonna do a confession, I'm sure they want to know where the body's at.
Yeah.
You know, oh,
Yeah.
where's
So,
the body at?
and if she did confess, they would have used that in court,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't bring up her confession in court.
No, she didn't turn it in.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
if she confessed to,
like if she walked in and said, "Hey, I'm trying to," because we don't know. You're right. Now that you bring it up, we have no idea how she got into the court system. How did she get detained?
Yeah, yeah, and that's another question. Like, how she was
Because
arrested?
technically, she should be detained, not arrested,
Mm-hmm.
because it was her house. And if they walked in there, they had seen blood, and then she still got to wait for the results. So they'd be like, "Okay, well, where's this blood? Why do you have blood on you? What did you do?"
Mm-hmm.
But she probably wouldn't. It wouldn't be considered murder right then and there,
No.
because when she described what happened, and if she did tell the story, "Hey, I hit him with a bat and I ran out," most people would be like, "Okay, he might be walking around with
Mm-hmm.
with a gas. You know, he might have a concussion. You know, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much, but." Yeah.
Yeah, and that
That's
was
why the flashback probably could have answered that question also too. You see what I'm saying? Because then technically somebody could have been a witness, and well, no, because they still needed a body, a body or a literally confession or a witness saying I seen this person die. So yeah,
yeah, and being in court, no one brought up a confession, so that means she didn't confess to murdering him, and two, not once in court did Jasmine argue the fact that there's no body. You know, whether it's a plot hole or the fact that she's just a bad lawyer. You know, like still that's a big oversight. You know, another plot
that's
hole.
a very big plot oversight.
Yeah. Then also another plot hole is I was Shannon able to get the mortgage out. You know, on
Right.
Grace's home. When being in Virginia, Virginia has a law. It's uh, a separate property, which means if a spouse owns property before marriage, that property belongs to them and not the other spouse.
Oh, that's a nice one.
You know, so Shannon and actually had no claims or grounds to be entitled to anything, well, or
So
anything that Grace
technically,
owned.
the cops could have escorted him out.
Yeah. So when she called the cops on him, they actually should have escorted him out because that's not his property. Even though they're married, it's not his property.
They kicked most of the guys out anyway.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, at least tell them, hey, they escort him. You're gone for a couple of 24 hours, and make sure you get a lawyer. Yeah. I was also surprised too about how much his retainer fee was. Like, wow, what was it, like $1,000, couple thousand?
Yeah,
like,
something like that.
Like that was for a civil case.
Yeah, it was kind of steep.
Yeah, it would have. Because my thing is this: the first thing that all they had to do is make her the victim, which technically she was. Mm-hmm. So the lawyer would have been. It would have been an easy win because they'd have been like, oh yeah, she had this, she had this, she had this, and then all they had to do is do a background check on him. Mm-hmm. It would have easy look like, because people gonna automatically look at. There's always a taboo. Older woman with a younger man. Mm-hmm. Then he's marrying her, and then if she comes up with all this dumb stuff that he did, the lawyer would be like, oh well, shoot, this dude, he would have figured it out anyway, or yeah. that would have been their argument, is that this dude only married her, and then he revealed all this stuff. Within the first few months?
I don't think it was said how many months it was, but I don't think it was.
But it wasn't long.
Yeah,
it was. I'll put it like this, and I interpret it as, in my opinion, that it was probably less than a year, or I think they dated more, but it was in a time frame where they could have broke up. Well, what's the
annulment?
Yes, it would have been. She could have got an annulment with the court system, and then could have blamed him, and then it could have been a criminal. She could have did a criminal charge against him.
That's true too, and not once did she try to get an annulment.
I didn't even think about that. Man, I gotta stop doing this.
and also going back to the whole mortgage thing, no bank is gonna allow you to sign papers without you physically being there, especially for that amount of money that he took out.
Right.
Even with the fake notary, you know, like a bank is not gonna, especially when you don't own the property. No bank is gonna do that. So that's a big oversight on Tyler Perry's part of knowing. If you could place a place, if you could place your movie in a particular city state, you should know that state laws.
Yeah, but he expect his audience to not overlook that too. I'm just gonna say, man, the movies that they cater to us, these movies they're more emotional, not intelligent, to be honest.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not even gonna.
He plays to his audience.
Yeah, he's more focused because let's be honest, is the intellect stuff there? Probably no, but is the emotional stuff there? Yes.
Oh yeah. It's a very emotional movie.
Right.
Yeah, like.
And he keep it paced enough that you won't, because like I said, I didn't even realize that she could have got an annulment, because I was all caught up in the, dang, that's messed up. This dude, this dude is crushing her, and I'm more thinking in the future. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like looking at his behavior, like, wow, okay, so yeah, because I think, like you said, once we figured out, the next thing that we see him cheating, then it's the whole thing about, oh man, did she really kill him? Because we already know how. It's both male and female. If you're in a relationship, because we both know you got feelings for a person, and that person is bringing another person into your house, into your bed. I mean, that's automatically. I think now, can you? What is it? Crimes of passion. Fit of insanity.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing too. When she did hit him with the bat, like that was a crime of passion. It wasn't premeditated, as if like the guy was arguing it was premeditated. That wasn't premeditated.
Oh, action is if it was premeditated, she wouldn't have threw him in the basement.
Yeah, that's true. So what's your overall thoughts of the movie?
I enjoyed it for what it was for Tyler Perry. I mean, his drama stuff keeps you in the drama and the emotion. So it worked for what it was. I mean, some of the seasonal actors, it just, I don't think he got to use them the way he could use them. 3 of them he should have. Well, 4. Out of the four actors he could have pushed. Because I still don't understand Celia Tyson character. I couldn't understand, like, why was she so special to be free?
Like that to me didn't make sense.
And she knew where she lived. I get it, unless she had is it Alzheimer's? That's the only way. But even then, you still know stuff.
Yeah, especially when everyone was all the other older women was tied up. Why was she walking around? That didn't make no sense.
Or the chick that committed suicide.
Yeah, why was she?
Because everybody was a victim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was just like, man, oh my God. I was like, I don't understand her purpose.
Like, her only purpose was to get Jasmine to think about Sarah as being the villain.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, I get it. I seen a meme. Somebody said that Tyler Perry gonna have her work until she dies. And I get it if you want to give her a spot, but it was just like you said, that was a loophole too, because she wouldn't have probably left that house if she able, because of what she has to lose. I know they got it at the end where she was able to go to another city and get another identity, but we gotta really stop with this identity stuff, because it's starting to get to the point where that should be getting kind of hard if you stand in America.
Mm-hmm.
So she would have had a lot. Well, she had a lot. Well, she had, like, I think I counted 8 women in there, and she was keeping them alive. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was more than 8, but if she was keeping them alive just for their money, you don't want one free. All it took was one person getting free.
Yeah. Like, to me, I felt like the movie was engaging. It did have my attention, and for what it was, I guess I- it was okay up to the third act, at best, But once you start throwing in those twists, and you really start thinking about all like the logistics of the story and what was going on, a lot of things don't make sense, and I just felt like by the end of the movie, I had a lot more questions, and I was more confused than anything. Like to me, there was no clarity. Uh, a lot of stuff felt unearned. Like it felt like a lot of people who was this bad at their jobs. You know, Jasmine was bad at being a lawyer. Her husband was bad at being a cop. Because on two occasions, he has people in handcuffs and doesn't secure them.
What was the first one?
The first one was when after he drops Jasmine off, you see him. He gets he's arresting some guy, and he gets a radio call.
Well, technically, it gotta be three then.
Mm.
Because I'm thinking two. Fashad, when he had her, he didn't really secure her, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't wait for backup. Even though he should have been reading that stuff. And then the second one is when he gets the information about her.
No, talking about.
Oh, okay.
Like as he before he gets the information, he was arresting somebody,
Right.
and he gets a call talking about you should, like check your laptop, and he leaves the guy on the hood in handcuffs, goes in the car, pulls up the information on the laptop, and he finds Sarah's information. Even though you can see what the information was about, you just see a photo of Sarah, and he just drives off, leaving the guy right there.
Well, I think that was made to show he was putting on his cape. Hey, I'm gonna make this dude. This is probably where he's not used to seeing how. Cause that's what I'm saying with him. It's by him. He's not probably used to see how guys. I'll make it positive. He made it so in a woman's way of how a man should come and save her. Just drop everything. Logically, it probably would have worked, but he didn't really know. It wasn't like it was a fire, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
or something like that.
I mean, I get it,
Yeah,
but
I get what he was trying to do, but the way he did it, it didn't work because if anything, he could have. We didn't, because the audience didn't. It doesn't make sense if the audience don't know, because we got that she was in harm's way, but we don't know how he knew.
Well, all that we know is that someone gets found some records on someone who looked like her. They send it to him, knowing that his wife was on the case involving this lady, and he realized, oh snap, something is wrong. She's at her house right now.
Right.
Let me go and save my wife.
But that's the thing. See, I'll put it to you like this. This is what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As far as we know, she's a con artist, right? Now, physically, the wife may not be in physical threat, like if she was at a serial killer, because one, they didn't emphasize what it was, but we already know at the end, she just is she just take people's money.
Yeah.
So, and technically, the way they had a relationship to the point where if they I'll look at it like this: what if it was no women in the basement? That scene would have been a little, because he's rushing, and then he would have bust in. He would have bust in, boom, 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 and his wife would open the door, and then he would just pull her out. Then it would have, like you said, it would have made a scene, because now, what if they was just sitting there drinking coffee, and what if she was calling her to console her? Like, hey, I'm sorry about the case. How we, stuff like that. Thank you for your help. I'm sorry I put you in that situation. They could have been having that conversation. And here he coming in, trying to be a superhero.
Yeah, because like no one knew that Shannon is still alive.
That's correct.
Yeah, so at that moment she wasn't in no physical danger. Well, ideally,
Ideally, she wasn't. Because if she would have, okay, if she, let's be honest, if she went to the house and the door, and if she went to the house and she was there, it would have been a normal conversation. Nobody, it would have been no issue because they would have just talked and she would have let her go. There was no reason for her to do anything. She was not a threat. The only reason why she was a threat is because she found what happened. Yeah. Now, there's another part where they could have switched that where she could have been home. And that's another thing where, like I said, we didn't know what Cynthia Tyson character. It could have been, because remember, they already opened it up with the thump the first time. And then all she did was try to rush her. But I kind of like to say how like they did it in Mine. They, the girls found out that it was the main character had a daughter was because, they come back to the house to investigate. It could have worked that way where, let's say, she decided to leave and maybe she forgot something. You know what I'm saying? Then she went back and the girl was downstairs, like, feeding the girls, and then she falls up on it. Then while she fights, she can be pushing. Damn, we can make our own little movie. Then dude come in, then they can do the flashback. And then that way, instead of him knocking her out or whatever, she could turn around and see him, and then the flashback could have been perfect, Yeah. But it's so many ways that they could have did it. But
yeah, then the second time he's bad at the job is when he put Sarah in handcuffs, and instead of securing her once again, or he could just handcuff her to the table or something, But he lets her.
Most likely it'd have been to the table.
Yeah, and he runs off.
That fight scene was weird.
It was, and Sarah just pretty much escapes. And he tells her and the other guy, stay here, don't go nowhere, as if they want to stand there and wait for him. Like really, So,
well, he was good at his job because he had to sneak to go get the information. Well, you trying to get me fired? I'll see what I can do.
And I feel like, look, not getting into a whole lot of details about it, but like, I feel like his character served no purpose, especially in the beginning, the opening scene. I felt like that was just retarded with the whole lady committing suicide. I just felt like it was just it was just something to tie the beginning and the end together, without no context. It's just there were a lot. To me, I just felt there were a lot of things wrong with this movie, and thank God it didn't come out in theaters. Because if it was in theaters, I don't see this.
So compared to his other movies, I mean, compared to most of his movies, like let's say Alchemy and all the other ones, do you feel like
Acrimony, you mean?
Well, Acrimony, That Little Girls, those type of movies where it was made for the big screen and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like he probably took more time, or because you feel like if you're making this, your opinion is that this wouldn't be successful compared to the other ones?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. So do you feel like it's probably a different process compared to him doing the movies that actually go into the movie theaters and this being Netflix?
I just feel like he tried to be too ambitious with this project and had a lot of ideas.
Okay.
But just because you have a lot of ideas for something doesn't mean a lot of ideas should.
Because Netflix, you already get the check. He probably get the check already. He probably get the check like as soon as he handed this over. Where I would probably look at it like compared to making a movie, you do want to go over it thoroughly to make something that's going to generate revenue. Yeah. So, and Netflix, but I don't want to downplay Netflix because there's plenty of good movies on Netflix.
Oh yeah. Most definitely no.
That could have been actually in theaters. Yeah. So I think we all seen at least one movie that could have been in theaters that's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. And my last point is I was so like, I guess one of the main reasons why I am disappointed in this movie is the fact that I actually love the whole subplot of Grace's character of being a middle-aged woman and getting divorced because you find your husband cheating with a 19-year-old, and you're feeling like you're not beautiful no more. You feel like you are accepting that you're a older woman now, and you now meet this guy who thinks you are the most beautiful thing in the world. Like I was actually digging that
Right.
subplot, and doing that whole twist with the guy just conning her. I feel like it's just I feel like it was a slap in the face,
Well, that's
you
what
know.
Batman's do, though. But I mean, he did his job.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he was good at it, and I just feel like I didn't feel like he should have done that with this movie, like because I thought he was going somewhere with it, like it was like ideally this is a good it was a good message to middle aged women
Yeah, I
that
was thinking that it was a good self confidence thing,
yeah
especially with the why not me? And then
yeah
normally when you see that, it's normally this. Well, I mean, she's attractive for her age, but I mean,
she
compared
is
to most of them are that primal age that most girls are, like the 19 to 25. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So you hear them saying it, and it is like, okay, well, it's kind of superficial. But then if you have this, because she's 56, you have this 50-year-old, saying that, and it's like, yeah, why not me? I did everything. I'm doing the best I can. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm nice. I bake cookies. I got my own house. And she really has stuff that she could say that she brung to the table. And then
Yeah.
she had a personality. And yeah, I thought about it too. It's like, man, it's not like some superficial, Instagram looking chick complaining why, you know,
Mm-hmm. Why she that beautiful?
yeah, why she not beautiful or nothing like that.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was on board. I was digging it, which is why I felt like like wanted to have it turn into a thriller, and with all these twists and was so convoluted because he had something with that whole you know subplot, and it's just like a slap in the face to middle aged women, who are going through that. Now I gotta watch out for younger guys trying to scam me. So going to our famous, I don't know why I keep saying famous, but our grading scale on a scale of 1 to 15. How much would you go with pay to see this movie if it was in theaters? That is.
I'm gonna say Tyler Perry. I respect what he's. Well, I respect what he's doing. I do would love to see him branch out and do more stuff or cater to
Different audience.
yeah, different artists, or at least like give us give the brother some love. I mean, you gave his daddy little girls, but
That was so long ago.
yeah, that was so long ago, man. But
But even that was catered to women.
actually, to be honest with you, I was just thinking about this. I know it's off topic, but he was literally, if you reverse it, like compared to most of his movies, it was like Tyler Perry's like, I'm gonna take my female character and I'm gonna make him into a guy. Because think about it, single mother with kids, the paternal parent is in the drug life,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're trying to, maintain a relationship with this executive person
Yeah.
who has everything going on. So yeah, but I would give it $4. I give it $4. I mean, it was nice to see. I don't think he used the vets as much as he could. Miss Webb is nice to see her do some more stuff. So this will also boost her up. Um, Instead of being the side character, she's being the main character. So I know like people made a big thing about Crystal Fox finally having a starring role after a whole bunch of years in show business. So I mean, it's really good. For Shad, I kind of felt like I know a lot of people are taking like Empire. They taking advantage of making her mean and evil, but I don't think he used her as good as used her
Mm-hmm.
as much as he could. So other than that, he did his thing for the emotional cues and stuff like that. But I'm probably one of his audience members that I am starting to mature, and I'm would like to see more variety.
I'm gonna go give it a three 375.
I'm gonna say four. Okay.
Yeah, he said four. I mean, I love Crystal Fox. I felt like she was awesome in the role. She did like she was one of the few people who I felt did like had a good acting job, did good acting and whatnot. Well, Makai Brooks, I feel like he did pretty good too. With his being the asshole, um, and will still not be the smooth cat, but this movie was not it for me. You know,
Actually, he is the same way, kind of like in Nobody Fools.
Yeah, like, but this movie wasn't doing anything for me. I mean, I honestly had never really been a big Tyler Perry fan because I always felt like a lot of this movie was this filled with stereotypes, and I hate stereotypes, I hate cliches. Yeah, I've never been a big Tyler Perry fan myself because I just feel like a lot of this stuff is filled with stereotypes and cliches, and uh, it gets repetitive and whatnot. But outside of that, I just feel like I would love to see him branch out and do other stuff, and kind of get away from the stereotypes. You know, like it. You see the damaged abusive black woman, the whole uh, handsome super supermodel type, black
Yeah, where the
guy.
fat guys at? With a love for him.
you
They're giving the big girls love. Big
know,
boys need love too.
it's just like this movie doesn't like this movie actually feels like a Tyler Perry movie, and I say that as a bad thing. Like if you were watching this movie and you didn't know who like the like you don't see the directors like who directed who rated it,
Yeah.
you would know that this was a Tyler Perry movie. And I just wish this he really needs to branch out and have at least somebody to bounce ideas off of at least.
And that's the only thing that's throwing me off because he makes most of his stuff for Oprah Winfrey Network and then BET Plus, and then it's like he has this big studio. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, I applaud everything that he has done.
yeah, I mean, you
But
got to do because it's the same thing. Like we'll say with rappers. Like I know a lot of people was upset with Jay-Z because he started changing his rap style, but he's no longer living that lifestyle. He's you know what I'm saying. He's no longer on the corners, in the projects. You know what I'm saying. At some point, the loyal listeners is going to be like, okay, well, it's cool to have a couple songs, and I'm not knocking, I'm sure you agree with it. It's okay to have that stuff, but it's now time to branch out,
and grow.
and yeah, grow or start. This is one of the things I have with the black community movies. We don't need the beat up black woman no more. The beat up single black mother, the angry black woman. The 1950s movies.
See, I don't mind that. It's just that this is how it's told in.
But they all being told recently, and I agree with you, the same way. We're continue seeing the. We just continue seeing the other new stuff, and then it's like when we do get the characters that are showing like something like Creed, it's being done by other, nationalities where they.
Creed was filmed by I want to say Anton Forte, I think it was.
Okay, well, was it?
I believe so.
Well, getting to the point.
Yeah.
The thing is more like how the community loved that movie. How it was a positive movie, and it showed the struggles that he had to deal with and stuff like that. It worked.
Mm-hmm.
Just more movies like that, that they can probably bring into, but it, so
I do feel you. You know, like I mean, I don't have a problem with those type of movies. It's just I just wish they will. Actually, no, I was wrong. It was directed by Steven Cappell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but he is black still or mixed. So you know, he's not a white guy. But yeah, just all depends on how it's done, how it's told. You know, but um, that's either, that's not here and there. But that will wrap it up for today's podcast, today's review. So as you know, $3.75 for me, $4 for him. So we just got mine up say $4. Uh, it's I know a lot of people had different opinions about this movie, but this is how we felt. But if y'all want to debate it, let us know. We can have your whether it's via comments, but or you want to come on the show.
Man, don't say that, man. Tyler Perry got it. Tyler Perry got it. It's like Beyonce with her beehive. It's a good thing we ain't too popular. Shoot, they probably be trying to ban it. Film nerds is no longer available.
But I think we would love to have some people on, and we can discuss different opinions on different movies. But make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also once again go over to Dream Cloud Films and subscribe to that channel because like as always that's where we put our short films and other film projects, whatnot, and our personal links will be in the description below. Give us a follow, send us a message, and if there's also a movie that you want us to review, let us know. Or even a topic, just let us know, hit us up, and we'll be waiting for your comment. But until then, I'm James.
I'm Theo.
Have a good week. Have a good day.